Hello beautiful glam girls, welcome back to another video. So you guys are always requesting talking videos and I always want to do them because I feel like I have a lot to say, but I feel like when I sit down to talk, I feel like I don't know what to say. So I either have to have a topic in mind or I have to like sit down and write. So I am going to talk to you about my ex-best friend, and this is not going to be about our whole friendship. This is going to be about a specific story because we were friends on and off for 10 years. Not even off. We were only off for maybe a year and a half of that 10 years. So basically 10 years straight we were friends. And we were best friends. And she was just a fucking bitch at the end of the day. And it's like, I never wanted to talk about her because I don't want her to think she's that important, because like I never think about this person ever. Like I don't go and talk about her. I never say her name. I don't think about her. Like I don't stalk her social media. I don't even know if she has social media. I don't even know, because when we were friends she didn't really use social media like that. I have so many stories, but this one in particular is the one that kind of like pushed our friendship to the bad place. So a little background: we became friends in high school. We met I want to say sophomore year. I think we were like 14, 15. I think it was sophomore year. I don't fucking remember. It was sophomore, freshman, junior, one of those years. I think it was sophomore year because we were friends basically all of high school. So I think it was sophomore year. You know, you don't meet everyone because everyone has different classes, but we ended up meeting sophomore year and we had a lot of classes together after that, and we took a lot of the same classes. We were both AP students, so yeah, we were both smart, and we both had things in common as far as the fact that we weren't like cliquey types, or at least she portrayed herself not to be. We had a similar sense of humor, and we're both Latina. You know, she was really good at like being into her studies, but she also had boyfriends, and I also was like that. So we just had those things in common, and she was a little bit advanced in those areas. Like she was having sex before me, so like she kind of, we were able to like help guide each other in that time of life, basically, if that makes sense. And so yeah, we gelled, we connected, we had a great time. It got to the point that I was like family. Like I was at her house all the time. In our school we had half days on Wednesdays, so we got out at, I think it was like 1 o'clock, I don't remember, as opposed to like 3 or something, I don't remember. But I used to go and sleep over her house on the half days, and it was like literally every Wednesday I would sleep over her house, like sleep in her bed with her, and then we go to school together the next day. We'd go out, and we stayed friends all the way until college. And then our 21st birthdays came. Her birthday is January 15th, mine is February 15th. Like we just tried to make our birthday special because they were close by. And so for her 21st birthday, her husband, or her boyfriend at the time, who was her husband last time I knew, he was like, oh, we want to do a hotel party. So me, her husband, her husband, and Antonio, because he was my boyfriend at the time as well, the three of us paid for the hotel room. She didn't pay, but the three of us paid for the room. And it was like all of our rooms, so any one of us could stay there, right? And so she was like, yeah, it's just gonna be like a small hotel party. There's gonna be like 10 to 15 of us. And I guess I was naive at the time, because later I found out and I realized that she was like hiding a lot of herself from me. So there was a lot of things about her that I didn't actually know, and there was things about her that I feel like she hid from me out of maybe worry that I was gonna judge her, or maybe she just, I don't know, maybe she felt like she wanted things that she thought I would not approve of, maybe. And I could see that in a way. Like I'm not oblivious to the kind of person I am, and maybe I was very judgmental, or she perceived me as judgmental, but I was just very open about things I liked and didn't like, and she would be the same way. So like we would both say we didn't like a certain thing, we would both make fun of the same things. At the time we were best friends, back in like 2008, 2009, remember when Rihanna had that shaved head style? It was like the good girl gone bad look. Everybody did it. I hated that hairstyle. I think it's disgusting. I think it's terrible. No shade if you have it, but I think it's one of the worst hairstyles of all time. And we used to make fun of it all the time. And then after we stopped being friends, she got that haircut. So it was like little things like that that aren't a big deal, but it just showed me that she maybe was hiding sides of herself. And then there was things that I found out later on, like, just, I don't want to put her business out there just in case anyone else like watches this and knows what I'm talking about, but there was things that she hid from me about her like sexual past and just like random things that it was like when I found out I was like, oh, she never told me that, and we were best friends. Or I felt like, oh, I didn't really know this person, because you know, certain things we find out about someone that you didn't know and you're just like, what? Like, it just shocks you because you think that you're best friends and you think they tell you everything and you have this trust with them and you hope they trust you. And so finding out things, it was just like, oh. So anyway, my point is, I guess I was kind of naive to her. I thought she was a little bit more toned down, but at the time also this new boyfriend, he was kind of bad news in my opinion. I don't think he's a good guy at all. I don't like him. I didn't like him. I mean, I don't like him as far as like what I know of him then, but I mean, the dude was like into drugs and like things about his past, and he was like very narcissistic and very like a show off and always fucking talking about what restaurant he went to and how much something cost and always showing off and trying to act like the big guy in charge and just like obviously making up for something. I just didn't like him. And I tried to get along with him and I made it seem like I liked him. There were certain times that we did get along and that we had like kikis and it was fun and everything. But it got to the point where he was just getting very controlling, that he wanted to control me too. And I realized that she was the kind of person who liked controlling guys because she didn't have a dad. Neither did I. Growing up, neither of us had our dads in our lives, even though we had similar relationship with our dads, where we both knew our dads, we loved our dads. Our dads had been around at certain points, but we didn't have a strong bond with our dads because they weren't around enough. So we kind of bonded on that. And for me, it manifested in the way that I don't need anyone. Like, I'm good alone. And I think that's a good thing. Some people might disagree, but for me, not having my dad close to me made me not get too attached to anyone. Like, I can form really strong bonds with friends, but overall, I really am good on my own. And that is what I think I learned from that loss in my life as a child. For her, it manifested in her liking controlling guys, because the last guy she dated before him, he was controlling as well. And then that guy, actually one time at a party, he tried to hook up with me, and I never told her this. Never. Even after we stopped being, I never, to this day, this is the first time I'm saying it out loud, I only told my husband. He's the only person that ever knew about this. But her ex-boyfriend one time at a party, like, literally tried to get with me. So she just liked really shitty guys. So this new guy, who, like I said, was her boyfriend at the time, who's now her husband, he was just getting more and more controlling and getting her to do things and act a certain way that just wasn't what I knew about her. It wasn't who I knew her to be. She was like getting into drugs more and partying, and his brother, I think he had two brothers. One of them was like a straight pothead, like always high, always drunk, a bit of a loser, a bit of a thug. And his girlfriend was also the same, a loser and a thug. They were kind of like street people. And like, I'm from the streets, but I'm not a street person. I don't partake in certain activities. I would like to think that I'm like right at the edge. I'm a good girl who can be bad, but I'm not a bad girl who pretends to be good. And I realized that she was, or that she was turning out to be, or she was changing to be like them. And I realized that this person who I thought had this strong identity, that I thought was secure, actually wasn't. She was actually a follower and kind of turning into them in a way. And I wasn't feeling it. And I tried to be cool about it and stuff. So the point is, the guy was really controlling. So he was like, I'm gonna make the hotel room, whatever, let's pay for it, so that she doesn't have to pay. We're gonna have this party. So I was naive to thinking it was just gonna be like 10 or 15 people. It ended up being like, I want to say it felt like 100 people, but it was probably like 30, 40, maybe 50, but probably around 30, 40 people. Now, this is a regular standard size hotel room in New York City. This isn't like a suite. If it was a suite, it would have been different. But this was a nice hotel where there was like business people in the middle of New York City, where, you know, you will get the cops called on you if you don't act right. So all these people are at this hotel room party. And I stayed sober, but something just told me to be sober. And also because I was kind of like the mom, like I took care of everyone, everything. And I loved her. I wanted her to have a great time. I wanted her to get drunk and live her best life. This was her 21st birthday party. I wanted her to have a great time. I wanted her to have fun. I wanted her to live her best life because I'm that friend. Like, I want you to be happy. I would never want anything bad for you. I want you to be the best person, the best version, have the best time of your life ever. So I was like taking care of everything. I'm getting everyone drinks. She's telling me what to do. I'm telling Antonio, have fun, babe. Everybody have fun. I'm taking drink orders. I'm keeping things clean. I'm like going crazy, right? Like, just imagine, 21 years old. I didn't even get to have, well, I was 20. My birthday was next month because remember, her birthday is January 15th, mine is February 15th. So I'm like not even drinking. I'm having a good time, but I'm cleaning and I'm taking care of everyone. And she tells me, like half drunk, she comes over to me. She's like, Gabby, like, can you please watch out for my sister? Like, there's creepy guys here. Mind you, her sister was a teenager still. Her sister is a few years younger than us. So her sister was probably 17, 18, way young to be getting that drunk. The girl was wasted. Like, at another point, the girl was a mess. Like, at one point, me and Antonio actually took her to get Plan B. Like, this girl, it's not like I'm judging because I've taken Plan B too when I was a teenager. Not a teenager, when I was like 19, 20 or whatever. So I'm not judging someone who takes Plan B, but the point is that I did those things for her family. Like, there was another time that this girl, my ex-best friend, there was another time that she had a freaking ovarian cyst and she had to get surgery, and I was there with her in the hospital holding her hand, and I went to her mom's house to get her insurance card because her and her mom were arguing because she had just moved out. I went all the way to her house to get her insurance card from her mom, took it back to the hospital and held her hand while she was in the hospital. Like, that's the kind of friend I am. So she comes over to me and she tells me, there's this guy that's trying to get with my sister. The guy's in his freaking 20s, old as hell, and the little girl's drunk, okay? Because she's a little girl to me, because we went to high school together. So I'm a senior in high school and I see this girl, she's a freshman. To me, she's a little girl. And she's still in high school and we're already in college. To me, she's a little girl. So the little girl's freaking wasted. She's in the bathroom, like literally on the bathroom floor, slumped. Or actually, she was in the bathtub, slumped. It was like something out of freaking movie. This creepy older guy is literally trying to like have sex with this little girl because she's drunk. And so my ex-best friend comes over and she's like, Gabby, like, watch out for my sister. That guy, like, you need to watch out for him. Can you please help her? Like, that guy is being creepy. He's trying to have sex with her. He's trying to fuck my sister. And like, she's telling me this and I'm like, this is really scary. Like, this older guy is a creep. Why is he here if you know he's trying to mess with your sister? Like, I took that shit seriously. That's not funny. That's dangerous. You have someone who's underage and drunk. There's people in this party smoking weed. We're in a hotel. I'm underage. My boyfriend could end up going to jail because he's overage and he's hanging out with teenagers who are drunk. Like, this is not something I want to be involved in. This is not a good situation. Like, if you want to do this kind of stuff in your house, feel free, but at a party or in public at a hotel, like, this is scary. So I was like, oh my god, if this little girl gets assaulted, I'm the only sober person. Like, my mind is just racing. So I go in there, I'm like trying to pull the guy off of her sister. Her sister is like about to throw up. I'm trying to sober her up. I'm trying to like put water in her mouth. I'm trying to put water on her face, like wake her up. Then it gets to the point where they're so loud, there's so many people, everyone's drunk, bottles everywhere. It's a freaking mess in this hotel room. Banging at the door. Boom, 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 boom. Security. My heart sank, guys. Like, when I tell you my heart sank, I was like, I am going to jail. Like, my boyfriend's going to jail. Like, this is a wrap. So security comes to the door, big dude with a suit. He's like, y'all gotta shut this party down. People are complaining. I'm gonna have to call the cops. I'm 20 years old. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking about all the things that are happening in this party, the amount of legal shit that could go down. And I close the door and I go to the hallway and I'm the only sober person. I put all of this on myself. And I told him, I said, please don't call the cops. Like, I will take care of this. And I'm getting emotional because this person was so ungrateful for what I went through, and I don't think to this day she knows how much this has affected me. Maybe for somebody else this might be funny, but for me this was not funny. I was really scared. I was surrounded by a bunch of like incoherent thugs who were drunk and high, didn't give a shit about what could go down. And I literally begged the security. I said, please, sir, I'm sober. I know I got out of control. Please give me a few minutes. I will get everyone out of here. Please don't call the cops. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. He's like, fine, you got a few minutes. He stands there in front of the door. And I was like, okay, thank you. So I closed the door. He's standing right outside. I don't remember if the door was closed or like somewhat closed. All I remember is I go inside and I'm like, y'all gotta go. He's gonna call the cops. You gotta leave. You gotta leave. The fucking guy, my freaking ex-best friend's boyfriend's brother, the one that I mentioned earlier was a freaking pothead. He was smoking weed outside of the freaking window in the hotel room. When he hears me say the thing about them calling the cops, his dumb ass comes out and he's like, fuck that. I don't give a let them call the cops. I don't give a we get it turned up. Da, da, da. I don't remember what he said because this was years ago. Nobody really said like lit or turned up or whatever. But he was just like, I don't give a we partying, whatever. Like, he was like, let them call the cops. And then so he got everybody riled up. Everybody's drunk and high. Everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, nah, y'all gotta go. He's gonna call the cops. Like, you gotta go now. This is not funny. So I told my ex-best friend, I was like, you gotta go. Like, this is not funny. You gotta go. You gotta go. They're gonna call the cops. And mind you, my name's on this hotel room. I paid for this hotel room. I was not about to get kicked out. I was really upset. So I'm literally like trying to get everybody out the door. And when I tell you I was in there frantic, guys, I was taking every bottle that was open that still had liquor in it. I was pouring everything down the sink. Everything. I was like this, like in the sink, pouring everything out, everything. All the cans that were open, pouring it. I had big garbage bags and I put all the bottles and all the cans on all the boxes. You know how when you buy a lot of liquor, you can get they'll give you the boxes. All the boxes, I put all the bottles in there. Everything that wasn't open, I put them in the boxes and I was like, here guys, take the stuff and leave. So my best friend at the time, she goes, okay, we're gonna go to my house, we're gonna keep partying, they don't want us, da, da, da. Like, she was just talking a bunch of shit, saying that she was gonna go and take the party back to her place. And I was like, yes, perfect idea, go home. So I was just like throwing all the bottles at them. I was like, here, take everything that's not open. I don't want no alcohol here while I'm here. I'm staying in the room for the night because I paid for it. Y'all could leave and go keep partying. Because I was so angry, I was so hurt, I was so frustrated, like it was out of control. So I'm throwing everything away, all the bottles. There was like 2 garbage bags filled of empty stuff and like whatever. They finally leave. I don't really remember them leaving. I just remember my ex-best friend being like, we're gonna keep partying at home. Because I was so frantic that my mind just kicked into like clean up, save the day mode. And so I just got rid of all the bottles and then they left and the security guard was like, cool, they left, cool. And I said, I'm so sorry, I'm going to clean up. We're not going to make any more noise. It's just me and and I opened the door and I said, it's just me and my boyfriend now. And I showed him that it was just me and my boyfriend, which is now my husband, Antonio. And it was us alone. Antonio was passed out because he was drunk. And that wasn't his fault. I was the one that was encouraging him to have a good time, which I kind of wish that I would have had him to help me because he was lit, okay? He was passed out drunk. Not to make him look bad, but he was having a good time too, you know? Opened the door to the security guard and I was like, look, it's just us. We're gonna stay the night because we paid for this room, but I'm gonna do my best to clean up. Thank you so much for not calling the cops. I specifically remember this. And he was like, all right, cool. So when everybody left, the room was ravaged and I kept cleaning up and I had like mad garbage bags full of stuff. I remember this. And I remember the beds being a mess. There was stuff on the rug. And I just went and tried to clean as much as I could. Tried to keep everything as clean as I could because I was so embarrassed that my name was on that room. And as a Latina and the way I was raised, you don't do that. Like, you don't leave a mess for people to come around and see like that you're a pig when you leave. Like, that's my face. That's my name. That means something to me. To have respect even when I leave, you know what I'm saying? I cleaned everything up. There was so much mess. Me and Antonio tried to enjoy the room as best we could. It's like too much info, but we tried to get intimate in the room because we were like, screw it, we have a hotel room, you know, we were young and it seemed like the fun thing to do, even though I was so upset, and it just didn't work. Like, that's how upset I was, and we just weren't in the right mind. Like, that's how upset I was. It just like the night was ruined. So we went to sleep or whatever. And then the next morning, bright and early, the little sister, the one who was freaking dead drunk, had the nerve to come to the room unannounced. Didn't even ask, like, hey, can I come in? Nothing. Just barged in and was like, oh, I left my cell phone. I lost my cell phone in here. Can I come? And I'm like, well, you're in here. Like, I think that my ex-best friend had texted me and said that her sister was coming to get her phone. So she did say that she was coming. But, like, I thought it was really rude that she just came back to the room so early in the morning. Like, at that point, it wasn't your room anymore. Like, it was me and Antonio's hotel room now. Like, y'all left last night. We are allowed to stay here, and we could be naked all morning until we have to check out if we wanted to. We pay for that room. But you're so freaking entitled that you thought it was okay to just walk in and decide to look through everything. The girl was so unapologetic, didn't care, wasn't grateful that I freaking protected her, you know, body, I guess. Protected her the night before. Wasn't grateful at all. It was just like very rude and kind of like, well, I'm looking for my phone, like whatever. And I was just like, wow, like y'all have no idea the gravity of what happened last night. And I just remember, I don't know if it was that day or when, but it was around the same time, because I specifically remember being on the subway when I sent this message. But me and her were texting, my ex-best friend, and we were texting, and I told her, because I'm a very honest person, I like friendships where I can express my feelings and I can say, hey, X, Y, and Z really hurt my feelings. This is how I'm feeling. Can we talk about it? Rather than be immature and like be cold or cut the person off. There's certain instances where those work, but I think that if you have a healthy friendship and you want to continue that friendship, then the right thing to do is to be honest about your feelings, talk about your feelings, and see how you can resolve the situation. So I told her, I said, you know, I stopped the cops from being called. I protected your sister. I did so much to keep that situation from getting bad. You know, your boyfriend could have gone to jail. My boyfriend could have gotten arrested. A lot of stuff could have gone down. There was weed in there. A lot of stuff went down, and I just feel like you don't care. Like, I'm really hurt, and I feel like you're not appreciative at all. Because she was, I don't remember exactly why. This was so many years ago. I don't remember exactly what she said, but just her tone, she didn't say thank you at all for anything. She was just very like, whatever. And I remember being like, I'm really hurt. Like, you told me it was only going to be 10, 15 people, and there was like 40 people there, and it got really out of control. And I'm embarrassed. And I remember telling her this. I was like, I'm embarrassed. My name was on that hotel room, and there was so much going on. We could have all gone to jail or been arrested or had a fine or something could have happened. Like, it was a very dangerous, messed up situation. And I saved the day, basically. And I'm not here to get awards, but I definitely think that she should have been appreciative, and there should have been a little bit more effort to be like, thank you, Gabby, for making sure that things didn't get out of hand. And just the way that she was carrying herself after that party just showed me that she was trying to show me that she didn't care. Like, she was trying to let me know that she wasn't appreciative and she didn't care. And then what really set it off for me was after I told her everything, how I felt, that I was embarrassed, that I was hurt, that I felt like I wasn't appreciated. She was like, well, no one told you to do that. She's like, you didn't have to do that. No one told you to do that. You did what you wanted to do. Yet at the party, she told me, hey, watch out for my sister. Hey, can you serve people drinks? She told me verbatim, can you take care of my friends? Can you do this? Like, she treated me like I was her little maid. And I did it out of love because, like I said, I'm that kind of friend. I will help. But when you are so cavalier and so rude and disrespectful, and you can't even be appreciative, and then you turn around and say, well, no one told you to do that. You did what you wanted to do. Too bad. Sorry you feel that way. I don't care. Like, literally, that's what she said. And I was so hurt. And that was really what, like, tipped our friendship over to the bad part, to the bad point. Like, that was like the line in the sand that was drawn. That was like the beginning of the end for us. So there's a lot more to the story, like our friendship, because after that, we stopped being friends for a while. Then we were friends again for a few years, and then, or for a while, and then we stopped being friends again, and then that was the end. But if you guys want more story times about this person, I'll try to like think of stuff. You know, I don't really think about this person, and I have a bad memory, but this is one particular thing that happened with this person that I will never forget, that was really, really hurtful, and it taught me a valuable lesson about friendship, about people who are friends and genuine and people who aren't, and just, you know, that you never really know anyone. And I'm still very open with people. I'm still an open person, but I definitely I've learned after that to just always put yourself first, and, you know, let people show you how to treat them. Don't give them so much so fast and then, you know, expect so much in return. Let people show you how they are. Let them show you what kind of friend they're going to be. Let them show you how much they'll give and how much you can take, and vice versa. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I'm sorry I got emotional. I really didn't expect to, but it's one of those things that it really affects me, that this person literally said, oh, well, I didn't tell you to do that. It like really broke my heart. And yeah. And I honestly, I'm disgusted by her now that I look back, and I don't wish anything bad on her, but I also really don't care either way what happens to her. She was never a really good person, and I doubt that she was ever really my friend. And yeah, I don't care. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you. If you want more story times, leave it in the comments what kind you want. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, stay glam. Follow me on Instagram. I love you.